Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. This is a concept that I've never really tried before, but I've seen a lot of other YouTubers do it and I really enjoy the content. Please let me know in the comments if you love it or hate it. That being said, let's jump right in. So guys, recently I sold a couple vehicles and I've got a bucket list car that I've always wanted. Not necessarily a dream car because it is obtainable. It's just going to take some work. That being said, it's this car sitting right beside me here. I've always been a fan of the Porsche 911. I've always been a fan of air-cooled Porsches and really any type of air-cooled vehicles. But this has always been one that I've always wanted to own. I've had several 944s. I've actually had the same Boxster twice. I've had several BMWs. I've always been a fan of German cars. This car in particular isn't necessarily the car that I really wanted, but I really couldn't pass up the deal. So a couple months back, I really started getting serious about trying to find one of these cars. I started looking in California, New York, Florida, all the big places where you typically see these types of cars. And I found a couple decent cars, but they were all older. Most of them were 911 SCs, which they're great cars, but they're not a whole lot of power. The gearbox is a little sluggish. Still great cars and would be awesome to own given the opportunity to get one. Well, after looking around and only finding those, and honestly, most of them were outside of my price range, even the older cars. I reached out to a friend of mine who's pretty well connected in the Porsche community, especially the air-cooled stuff. And I said to him, hey Nate, I think I'm ready to pull the trigger. Help me find a car. Within an hour, Nate calls me back and says, hey, you're not going to believe this. I think I found the car for you. It's a white convertible and it's 10 minutes from your house. So all this time I had basically the perfect car sitting 10 minutes from my house. So Nate found this car sitting in the back of a motorcycle dealership's warehouse. Now the dealership does good business. They've been in business here for a while. I'm very familiar with the dealership. I didn't realize that they had a warehouse out back slapped full of junk. And this was one of the junk things that they had back there. As awesome as this car is, it was covered in a thick layer of dust and didn't want to crank. Luckily, I took Nate with me to go look at it, a little bit of troubleshooting, and we had the car running. Took it out for a test drive. The car hasn't ran in several months, if not maybe a year or more. Take it out for a test drive, and I'm in the passenger seat because I've never driven one of these. I've driven plenty of cars, but I've never driven one of these, and Nate wanted to make sure it was a well-running car. So that being said, the best way that Nate thought to test it was to put this car that hasn't ran in 6 months to a year on mismatched tires that had flat spots. He thought we needed to put that into a curve at 90 miles an hour. Scared the daylights out of me, but the car handled it. The car runs great, drives great. I really have no complaints with the car. It's got some cosmetic issues, and I'm going to point those out to you a little bit later in the video. But this is a really awesome car. Nate helped me find it and we got a really good deal on it. I'm really looking forward to doing some upgrades to it, fixing a couple of the issues that it has, and just making it a driver. All right guys, so here's the car. This is the 88 Carrera that we just recently picked up. This is such an awesome car. It needs a lot of work, needs a lot of maintenance. It's got some cosmetic issues. Like I said, this car hasn't ran in 6 months to a year possibly. Of course, we got it running, got it driving. I took it and had to get some tires put on. These tires were dry rotted in the front. The backs are going to be replaced as well pretty soon. The top does not work. It's got some latching issues. I've actually got the latch motor out on this side here. This is some cosmetic issues. I'm not decided if I want to delete this or just paint it back up, make it look nice. Same thing with the grill. I'm going to paint it up and make it look nice. We're probably going to do we'll probably clean up this rear bumper somehow, maybe get rid of the bumperettes. But overall, the body is in really great shape. It's got some damage on the cowl right here. Previous owner didn't get the hood latched. I've got the wiper arms and this little grill piece. I've got them sitting on the bench over here. I'm going to do some painting on them, try to get them cleaned up, make them look nicer. But yeah, this is it. And Of course, you know, the very first thing I did, since this thing was sitting for so long and it hasn't ran, and I don't have any service records, so I don't know when the oil was changed or anything like that. So the very first thing that Nate and I did was lower it. Because it needed lowered. Like it was a Baja edition, and regardless of whether it ran or drive or needed work, that had to be done. I couldn't stand looking at it. So the car's been lowered. It's already sitting on pretty new Bilsteins, and then of course we just lowered it on the stock suspension. Car runs and drives great now. Since lowering it, I have done some maintenance to it. I did the oil change. I checked the air filter, cleaned that thing out. We're going to do a transmission service and some other stuff. So the inside's not in too bad a condition. I mean, it's got these sports seats, which is pretty awesome. They really need to be they really need some love. So what's actually going to happen with this car eventually, this is the plan. The entire interior is going to be blacked out. We're going to put the black door panels on it. We're probably going to get rid of this funky arm handle thing and go with more of like an RS style, so it's got no pockets or anything. All the carpet will be black, and the only thing that's going to be left red is going to be the seats. So everything else will be black. We're going to delete this console down here, get rid of that, make some type of bracketry for the AC controls to go into the dash, clean that up a little bit, get those wires that are hanging down, get that all cleaned up. I did put a steering wheel in it that I had. It's just China. I don't know the brand. It's just China. But I did have a Momo center cap, so I slapped that in there. The steering wheel that came in this car was like literally 10 inches wide, and man, it was just almost impossible to drive it like that. So like I said, I've been working on this top back here. Had to work on the seats a little bit to try to get them where they'll latch. Notice the tools. But yeah, so I've deleted the motors that make the top go up, but I'm gonna try to save the motors that do the latching part. So it's gonna be a hybrid top. And the only reason I did that is because I think my motor, or my top control motor or top control box, I think that box is bad, and I don't care. I just want to drive it. I want the top to be able to go up and shut, and I can go drive it. Rain, shine, snow, I don't care. So that's kind of the game plan with that. I've also got a set of wheels coming that should be here this coming week. So hopefully by the time this video comes out, we'll be adding to it and putting the wheels on the car. So stay tuned, and let's see what happens with that. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I was really hoping to get the tires and wheels changed out real soon, but my tires are actually on back order, so we're going to have to wait till the next video for that. I'm not going to tell you guys what the tires or what the wheels are. You're just going to have to stay tuned and kind of watch and see what happens. I can tell you one thing, the Porsche purists are probably not going to be happy. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Thanks.